And first of all, Councillor Blunkett, thank you very much for giving us your time, coming down here and being ready to talk to us. Can I just ask you a fairly conventional question in this area, which is what your view is of the respective role of officers and members in local government?
Well, I think people will be familiar with the normal academic view, including things like the Baines Committee report, which outlined the suggested dividing line between policy and implementation. I think it is, I mean, in some areas it's quite easy to differentiate between the policy role of actually making the decision and the implementation. Where it gets difficult is, I think, a growing grey area where clearly the politics of the situation with a small p impinge on officers, and the evaluation and monitoring and responsibility and accountability for carrying out the policies and actually seeing them into fruition actually impinges the administration on members. And it is very difficult to have any clever, clear-cut idea that here are two separate groups: the politicians who get on with the formulation and direction of policy, and officers who are aloof from this, who have nothing to do with the political arena and actually get on with implementation. And both officers and members know that isn't true, that officers are inherently involved in the formulation of policy because of the nature of information giving that they are very deeply involved in, and that members are involved in carrying those policies out, and they've got to be, because changing policies is about knowing whether they're working and being able to monitor and evaluate the success of what's taking place and getting the feedback from those who are, after all, supposed to be the beneficiaries, those in the community. So it's a very mixed up situation, and it's at least worth being honest about it and accepting that and saying we do need to establish reasonable lines of communication that enable us to stop officers being totally sucked into a party political struggle, but accept that the political nature of their work is recognised, and with members that they don't actually take over as managers of the service, although some of us would be very happy to have the salaries.
Now,